Dark chosen one, your true power awaits in the quantum field of shadows. There comes a moment in every life, quiet, unannounced, where something stirs beneath your surface. But it's not loud, it doesn't scream. In fact, it's so subtle that most people ignore it, suppress it, or mistake it for fear. But if you've ever felt the sense that you're not like the others, if you've ever looked around and sensed that this world, this reality, this system doesn't quite fit you, then this message is for you. You are not broken. You are not lost. You are not too much. You're just waking up to the truth that you were never meant to fit in. You were meant to remember. You were meant to access the power hidden in the shadows, that secret realm where the true chosen ones are forged. And that place is the quantum field of shadows. For centuries, spiritual teachings have focused on the light. The light is safe. The light is beautiful. And the light brings peace. But what if I told you that the true source of your power isn't just in the light, it's in the dark? Not the evil, not the demonic, not the chaos we've been taught to fear. I'm talking about the sacred dark, the womb of creation, the quantum void, the place where nothing exists and therefore everything is possible, and the place where the old self dissolves and the real you begins to emerge, the place where time bends, where consciousness expands, and where the illusions of this matrix can be shattered for good.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lesson.
You see, every chosen one has a moment of collapse, a breakdown, a loss, a betrayal, a silence so deafening it empties you out completely. It's not a punishment, it's an initiation. The universe doesn't destroy your life because it wants to harm you. It dismantles your false identity so you can remember who you really are. So you can return to the source field, the raw, unfiltered frequency of the shadow realm where your soul encoded its mission long before you were born. That collapse you went through, that wasn't the end. That was the beginning of your quantum awakening. Now let's go deeper. The quantum field of shadows is not a place in space. It's a state of consciousness. It exists outside of time, outside of form, beyond the reach of the logical mind. It is accessed not through thinking but through feeling, through stillness, through surrender. It is the realm where reality is not fixed, but fluid, where your identity, your pain, your past, your limitations, none of them are solid. None of them are real. They are just shadows projected onto the screen of your mind. And when you learn to step beyond that screen, when you learn to enter the field consciously, you begin to rewrite the codes of your life from the inside out. But most people are terrified of the dark. We've been programmed to fear it since childhood. We're told to run toward the light, to push away negative thoughts, to suppress our anger, our grief, our rage. But those emotions are not your enemy. They are your teachers. They are your keys. When you repress them, you dim your power. When you integrate them, you unlock your destiny. Because darkness is not the absence of light, it's the presence of potential. It's the silence before the sound. It's the space where you can finally hear your soul whisper, "You are ready." So ask yourself this: what parts of me have I banished to the shadows? Your power is not hiding in your perfection. It's hiding in your pain, in the moments you thought disqualified you, in the parts of yourself you've been too ashamed to face. That addiction, that failure, that secret, that rage, that fear, those are not signs of your weakness. They are signs of your depth, And the deeper you go into those shadows, not to drown, but to listen, the more you begin to realize that the darkness has always been your ally. You are not here to be normal. You are not here to be accepted. You are not even here to be spiritual in the way the world defines it. You are here to remember that you were born with access to the hidden codes of reality. You are here to pierce through the veil of illusion, and to walk through the fire of your own shadow and come out carrying the blueprint for a new world. You are here to activate quantum power, not by bypassing your humanity, but by alchemizing it. Let me tell you something few people will ever dare to say. The most powerful manifestations don't come from affirmations. They come from integration. It's not about repeating "I am abundant" 1,000 times. It's about facing the part of you that believes abundance is dangerous. It's not about visualizing love. It's about healing the wound that believes you're not worthy of it. That process is messy. It's uncomfortable. It feels like death. But that's because it is the death of the false self. And only when the false self dies can the dark chosen one rise. We are standing at the edge of a spiritual revolution. The old ways are crumbling. The polished, sanitized versions of spirituality are no longer enough. We don't need more people pretending to be enlightened. We need people brave enough to face their shadows, to enter the void, and to reclaim the power that's been waiting for them in the dark. We need those who are willing to walk alone if necessary, and to break the rules, and to question everything, to become the embodiment of truth. But not the truth handed to us, but the truth we remember when everything else has been stripped away. So I ask you now, with all the intensity of your soul, are you willing to enter the shadow realm of your own being? Are you willing to stop running? To stop hiding? To stop pretending you don't feel the pull towards something greater? Because if you are, then this is your moment. This is your initiation. This is the beginning of your return to quantum power. It won't be comfortable. It won't be pretty, but it will be real, and it will change everything. The Black Flame Code: how to unlock your shadow DNA and bend reality from within. There is a fire that does not burn with light, yet it illuminates everything. It's not found in temples or scriptures or ceremonies. It lives beneath your skin, in your bones, in the places you feared to look. The ancients called it the black flame, the inner current of power that only the dark chosen ones can access. It is not evil. It is not destructive. It is untamed. It is the divine spark encoded in your shadow DNA, waiting for you to awaken it, to remember that you were never meant to follow the path, you were meant to blaze one, through the dark, into the center of all creation. Your shadow DNA is the forgotten half of your spiritual blueprint. While most people focus on activating their light codes, their higher chakras, their celestial lineage, the awakened chosen ones go deeper. They go into the root, into the void, into the bloodline memories, ancestral pain, and soul contracts that have been buried for lifetimes. You see, power doesn't just come from ascending upward, it comes from integrating downward. But you don't become whole by escaping your humanity. You become whole when you're brave enough to descend into your own underworld and retrieve the pieces of yourself you left behind. This is where the Black Flame Code begins, with the willingness to feel what you've been avoiding. The guilt, the shame, the rage, the grief. These are not signs of your brokenness. They are sacred doorways. They are the vibrational keys that unlock the energy stored in your shadow DNA. But every wound is a portal. Every suppressed emotion is a quantum field of potential. The more you resist them, the more they distort your life from the unconscious. But the moment you turn toward them not to fix them, but to witness them, they begin to transform. They begin to burn with the black flame, and in that alchemy, your true power begins to emerge. But here's what you must understand. This process is not linear. It's not something you do once and call it complete. The black flame burns in spirals, in cycles, in waves. It will take you to the same pain more than once, each time deeper, each time wiser. It will strip you of false identities, false beliefs, false attachments. And it will ask you over and over again, are you ready to stop pretending? Are you ready to stop performing and start embodying? Because once you activate your shadow DNA, the universe will no longer let you live small. You can't go back to normal. You can't unsee the truth. You've stepped out of the simulation. You've become a variable in the system. And now the system bends around you. Let's talk about bending reality, not in a metaphorical way, not in a just believe it and it comes kind of way. I'm talking about quantum causality. When your shadow and your light are integrated, your field becomes coherent. Your energy becomes undeniable. You stop attracting from lack or fear or ego. You start pulling in timelines that match your wholeness. That's the real secret. Manifestation doesn't come from wanting, it comes from being. And you can't fully be until you face the parts of you that you've exiled. When you walk with the black flame, you stop negotiating with your power. You stop asking for permission. You stop begging the universe to give you what's already yours. Because now you know. You feel it in your cells. You remember that your very existence bends probability. That the quantum field is not something outside of you, it's the space you're made of. And when you speak from your full self, when you choose from your soul instead of your fear, reality has no choice but to rearrange. But here's the paradox. This power doesn't come from control. It comes from surrender, from presence, from total honesty. You cannot fake this path. You cannot intellectualize your way into it. You must feel your way through. You must descend into your own chaos and find the still point at the center. That's where the code is hidden. That's where the black flame burns the brightest, in the silence beneath your suffering, in the stillness beneath your storm. So what does this look like in practice? It looks like making decisions not from fear, but from truth. It looks like speaking words that tremble because they're real. It looks like walking away from everything that no longer reflects your highest self, even when it terrifies you. It looks like holding space for your inner child, your wounded warrior, your wild self, your sacred darkness. And it looks like choosing moment by moment to live in the frequency of your full being. I want you to ask yourself something now, and don't answer quickly. Sit with it. Let it echo. What would my life look like if I stopped hiding the parts of myself I think are too dark to be loved? What if those parts were the very source of your genius? Your magnetism? Your medicine? What if the wound you've been avoiding is the exact place your power has been hiding all along? The black flame does not demand perfection. It demands presence. It demands truth. It demands that you stop waiting for someone else to rescue you and realize you are the one you've been waiting for. Quantum rebellion, how to shatter the simulation and recode your destiny. There is a moment when the illusions begin to crack. When the patterns that once held your identity together begin to collapse like paper in the rain. You look around and realize the life you were told to want, the job, The approval, the surface-level happiness feels hollow, like you were playing a role in someone else's script. That's not depression, that's not dysfunction. That's the first tremor of your awakening. What you're feeling is the simulation breaking. And it's not breaking to destroy you, it's breaking to free you. The world you live in is not what it seems. The Matrix is not just an idea for a movie. It's real, but not in the way most people think. It's not a computer program. It's a psychic architecture, a web of beliefs, systems, and energetic agreements that form the prison of unconsciousness. You were born into it. We all were. But the moment you begin to question it, to feel the dissonance between your soul and the world's expectations, you start to slip through the cracks. That's the beginning of quantum rebellion. Now, rebellion in this context isn't about fighting. It's not about violence or destruction. It's about radical reclamation. It's about unplugging from the script. It's about choosing to no longer live from the frequency of fear, scarcity, shame, or obedience. It's about remembering that reality is not fixed, it's fluid. And you, as a being encoded with divine consciousness, have the authority to rewrite the code. Not metaphorically, literally. Your reality is a projection of your inner field. But every thought, every emotion, every belief you carry acts as a frequency broadcast. But the quantum field, the infinite realm of potential, responds not to what you say you want, but to who you are being. And when that being is shaped by trauma, programming, or suppressed energy, the field reflects that distortion back to you. That's the simulation, a loop of your own unconscious creations. But when you begin to bring awareness into those distortions, when you begin to take radical ownership of your vibration, you break the loop. You become the anomaly, the glitch, and the system starts to reconfigure around you. That's where true power lives, not in escaping the matrix, but in transforming it from within. The moment you realize that the external world is not the source of your suffering, but the mirror of your own unhealed frequencies, you gain the key to shatter it, not by force, by frequency. And that frequency is forged in the shadow. It is refined through presence. It is activated through alignment. So how do you begin the rebellion? You start by asking the questions most people are too afraid to ask. Whose beliefs are these? Whose life am I living? What part of me is still trying to win love by being who I'm not? Why am I afraid to be fully seen? These questions are not philosophical. They are surgical. They cut through the fog of conditioning and bring you face to face with your soul. And once you see it, once you feel the truth of who you are beyond your wounds, your roles, your masks, you can't go back. You won't want to. Because the taste of sovereignty, of energetic freedom, of being the conscious author of your reality, it's intoxicating. It's sacred. It's the very essence of why you came here as a dark chosen one. You didn't come to conform. You came to awaken, to embody, to lead. But make no mistake, this path will cost you. It will cost you your victimhood, your excuses, your false identities. It will ask you to grieve the version of yourself that was never truly you. It will demand truth in every breath. But in return, it will give you everything: vision, power, clarity, the ability to bend reality not by force, but by frequency, not by effort, but by embodiment. So I ask you, are you willing to become the glitch in the matrix? Are you willing to stop waiting for approval and start living as if you already are who you were destined to be? Because that version of you is not in the future. It's in the now, waiting, watching, ready to be chosen by you. The final integration, becoming the dark architect of your own ascension. There is no savior coming. No one is going to hand you your purpose, your power, your liberation. That's the final illusion, the belief that someone or something outside of you will eventually rescue you from your suffering, your confusion, your stagnation. But the truth is, it has always been you. You are not waiting for a sign. You are the sign. And the moment you fully accept that truth, the game changes forever. You stop being a character in someone else's story and become the architect of your own ascension. Not through light alone, but through the integration of shadow, through the full embodiment of your dual nature. This is the final gate. This is mastery. Ascension is not about rising above being human, but it's about becoming fully human consciously. It means reclaiming every part of your experience, every emotion, every failure, every desire, and transmuting it into wisdom, into raw, living power. The dark chosen one is not someone who floats above the world on a cloud of peace. They are grounded, rooted, real. They feel everything. They walk through fire barefoot and come out with eyes that see through dimensions. Because once you've faced your own darkness without flinching, reality stops intimidating you. You see, the path of the dark chosen one isn't about perfection, it's about presence. It's about being so real with yourself that nothing can manipulate you anymore. You're not swayed by trends, not controlled by fear, not seduced by validation. You've seen what's behind the curtain. You faced your own shadows and realized they weren't monsters, they were messengers. They were fragments of your own genius, waiting to be loved back into wholeness. And now, you carry that wholeness in your field. You radiate it, and reality rearranges itself around you accordingly. But integration isn't passive, it's intentional. It means choosing to live in alignment every single day. It means making decisions not from habit, but from soul. It means risking rejection to stay true to your essence. It means saying yes to your evolution, even when it costs you comfort. This is how you build power. Not the power that controls, but the power that creates, and the power that shapes timelines. The power that makes the quantum field bend around your vibration like metal to a magnet. And yes, this journey can be lonely, because few will understand you. Most people are still asleep, still seduced by the surface, still clinging to the illusion of safety. You will be called crazy. You will be misunderstood. But deep down, you didn't come here to be understood. You came here to remember, to initiate yourself, to become the living embodiment of what others are too afraid to explore. You came to lead not through ego, but through embodiment, not by preaching, but by walking with authority, walking with presence, walking with the kind of quiet power that makes reality listen. So let me ask you this, and I want you to really listen to the answer that emerges from within, that if today was the day you finally accepted your full power, your shadow, and your light, what would you stop tolerating? What would you stop hiding? What would you start becoming? Because there is no more time to wait, no more time to pretend, no more time to negotiate with your own greatness. You are a quantum being. You are a living portal. You are a walking frequency that can collapse timelines, activate dormant codes, and awaken others just by standing in your truth. This is not fantasy. This is physics. This is consciousness. This is who you've always been beneath the programming. So breathe. Feel your roots. Sense the black flame still burning, not to destroy, but to reveal. You are no longer becoming you are. The question is no longer, will I be chosen? The question is, will I choose myself fully, fiercely, finally? Because once you do, nothing can stop you. You are the dark chosen one, and your reality now answers to you.